side and let me share the screen. Okay. Let me go to the server. This is my server, right? Okay. Right. Shared features. That is the meaning of the shared features. So we usually, okay, select some shared features. Okay. What are those shared features? These are common. No need to install again. Okay. If you see guys, you can install 50 SQL Server copies in one Windows server. Very important. 50 instances. Instance is nothing but one SQL Server software copy. As a DBS, we'll call SQL Server as an instance. You can call it as a SQL Server also, but professionally we'll call it as a SQL instance. Okay.
50 instances means 50 SQL Server.
Yes, 50
Uh,
SQL servers.
I mean, same version or different version?
Very good question. So same version, different version. So it depends upon the operating system, but you can install different versions of SQL servers. Okay, that doesn't mean that you can install from SQL Server 2000 to 2019 in the same Windows machine. We discussed the challenges in the first class, right? On what Windows operating system we can install SQL servers and all. So depends upon your SQL Server feasibility. You can install different versions of the SQL servers in a machine. Okay, clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you can install different versions of the SQL servers in a Windows machine. Like that, 50 copies you can install, 50 SQL Server software copies you can install in one machine. Okay, so first time if you choose these specific features, sorry, shared features, next time no need to choose the shared features for remaining 49 instances. Guys, you can install up to 50. That doesn't mean that we'll install 50 instances in the machine every time. No, hardly you will get only one instance. Mostly in the organization they will install only one instance. Okay, right? So if they need any extra instance, depends upon their application requirements, they may install one more instance. Hardly you can see two instances or three instances in a machine. Very rarely you can see 4, 5, 6, 7 instances, but never, no one is going to use 50 instances in a single Windows machine. Okay, they will go for another separate Windows machine. Clear guys? Hardly only 180% of the Windows servers will host only one SQL server. Remaining 20% you may see two instances, three instances, hardly four instances, very rarely five instances and all. But you don't see five instances. Okay, might be for cluster setup you can see, but remaining standalone you cannot see that many instances. Okay, hardly one or two will be there. That's it. What I want to say is once you install this specific feature, next time whenever you're installing one more SQL server, now it won't allow you to choose these specific features as it has. These specific features are already installed. Okay, so what and all specific features are must? Client tools connectivity, client tools backward compatibility, client tools SDK, SQL client connectivity SDK. These four specific features are mandatory. If customer is asking R or Python or any other, okay, components, you can select it. Otherwise, from shared side, no need to select any other components. These shared features are enough. Next time you can see after installation, if you are installing one more instance, all these four components will be degraded, grayed out. You cannot select or unselect. Okay, only for the first time you can install the shared features in the same machine. Next time, even it may be different version, no need to. Yes, very good question, Sunil. Even though it is a different version, shared features are same. Okay, so no need to install the shared components for other versions also. Once you install SQL Server shared features of any version, those features will be used by other versions of SQL servers also. Okay,
Sorry,
clear guys?
sorry, as you said earlier, SS, ISSS, AS,
Hmm.
this need to pay like that you say now. Now
Yes.
these said features also, do we need to pay extra money?
No, shared features, no
Client
need to
also.
pay. No, nothing like that. So it's like, say for example, if you go to the hotel, okay, you will pay money for your food, not for your plate, not for the teapoy, not for the chair and all, right? Right. So shared features are like that only. For shared features, no need to pay. But integration services is a shared features that come under different part, different billing. Okay. Integration, only integration services you have to pay.
So what is meant by SDK?
SDK, I have to check it. SDK, even till now, I didn't check what is SDK abbreviation. I'll check and I'll update you. Okay. Clear, everyone? Is it clear? Up to here, it is clear or not?
Yes, sir. Clear,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Okay, so you have to choose these specific features and you have to select these shade features for the first time. Next time, if you are installing one more copy, you can only install these 3 components. That's it. No need to choose any shade features. Okay, in the same server. Let me go to next.
SDK means is it like JDK, sir?
No, no, no.
Java Development Kit,
I don't know the
software
exact
development.
abbreviation. I don't know the exact abbreviation. I never check it till now, but I'll check and update you. What is this SDK and all? Okay.
I think it's a software development kit. I think.
I guess. Yeah.
All right. Yes, yes.
Okay. Yeah. Right. So the next screen is okay. There are 2 types of instances again, as discussed earlier. How many instances we can install in a machine, guys? How many instances we can install?
50,
Guys,
sir.
please don't
50
disconnect. We'll
instances.
complete in 10 to 15 minutes. Okay, please don't disconnect.
50.
Yeah,
Two,
okay.
sir.
Yeah. So I see people are disconnecting. Please don't disconnect. Okay. Right. We'll complete in 10 minutes. Nothing to worry. Right. How many instances we can install? Who
50.
said 2? 2?
Sir, 50.
Someone said
50.
2, right?
Yeah, I am.
Why you said 2, man? Okay.
I thought
So
that standalone and cluster type.
okay, no. 50 instances you can install. Okay. Right. So 2 types of instances are there. 2 types of instances. These are the types, and this is how many maximum instances you can install. 2 types of instances are there. One is default instance. One is named instance. One is default instance. Another one is named instance. What is the difference between these 2? Functionality
Default
wise,
Only the system.
yes. Functionality wise, there is no difference between these 2. Both are same only. Both will work same only.
For identification, we
Yes.
can do our name.
Yes. Okay, functionality wise, there is no difference between these 2. Both will work same, both will behave same. Right? Default instance, usually while connecting default instance, it will take the computer name. It will take the computer name while connecting. See here, earlier in the SSMS, while connecting, I gave one name, right? Server name. So for default instance, the server name will be computer name. Okay. For named instance, you have to provide your own name. Guys, how many default instances I can install in a machine?
Only one.
Why only one? See here, this is my SSMS.
Because,
After opening the SSMS, yeah, you can see server name, right? Server name, this is my computer name actually. So if I'm connecting to this instance using computer name, what is this instance? Default or named instance?
Named.
Default.
Default.
Default instance, as it is connected to the computer name, usually default instance will be connected to the computer name. So this is your default instance. Only while connecting, the name is going to be changed. That's it. No other differences are there between default and named instances. Only the name is going to be changed. Default instance will take the computer name. No need to give extra name for default instance. That's why if you see here, it is not asking any name if you select default instance. If you select named instance, it is asking to provide the name. Okay. So choose default instance, named instance, it's not mandatory. Okay, first time I have to choose only default instance, or first time I have to choose only named instance, nothing like that. First time you can directly install named instance also. If you want, you can go for default instance also. But guys, only one default instance for the whole Windows machine. Only one default instance per whole Windows machine. Why like that? Can anyone tell me?
because machine has what is that?
Very good. Okay.
Mm,
So we can install 50 instances, right? 1 plus 49. 1 is your default instance and remaining 49 is your named instances. Only one default instance per machine. I have a quick question for all of you. Can I install one default instance for each version in the same Windows machine?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
So
we can, sir.
2012 one default instance, 2014 one default instance, 2016 one default instance. Can I install like that?
Yes,
Everyone,
sir.
I need
no,
answers. I need answers from everyone.
no, sir, no, sir. No, sir, no,
I,
sir, no, sir.
I think yes, sir. Yes, we can.
No, sir, no.
Please send me the
Because it's
answers in the chat. Please send me the answers in the
No,
chat.
sir.
Okay, so I'll get one clarity.
I
Chart,
think we
chart.
can install, sir.
Use your chart feature so that I will get the clarity. Who is no, who is yes.
Sir, repeat the question, sir, please.
Can I install default instances of different versions in the same Windows machine?
Sir, default instance is only one, sir, for this.
For one version,
we-
one. For another version, and one more default instance I can install.
No, sir.
No, sir.
Okay, one guy is very confident. Yes, he's yes only. Who is that? Satish? Not
No,
Satish.
sir.
Not Satish. Someone said yes. Okay. Mahesh and one more guy said yes. Anil.
Because there is only one single default instance means only single SQL server, sir, right, sir? Na? So it will apply for the all SQL servers, sir.
Okay. So the answer is no. Okay. You cannot, once you install one default instance of any version, it will be, the computer name will be reserved for that instance. If, for example, Anil says yes, Mahesh says yes. Imagine I have two Mahesh in this meeting. If I call Mahesh, who is going to respond? Best case, both Mahesh will respond. Worst case, no one will respond. Right?
Yes.
One
Yes.
Mahesh will think, okay, he's not calling me, other Mahesh. Another Mahesh will think he's calling another Mahesh. Okay, so no one will respond. Best case is both will respond. Worst case is no one will respond. So if once the computer name is occupied by the management studio, you cannot use that computer name. Why? Because if I click connect, if I give computer name here, which instance it will connect? Which default instance it will connect? 2012 default instance or 2014 default instance or 2016 default instance, right? Or else we
Yeah.
have two default instances. If I gave name, which instance it will connect? Okay, so that's why not possible to install one more default instance. Once the name is reserved for one default instance, again you cannot install one more default instance.
Okay, sir.
Okay, clear everyone?
Okay, sir.
And any version of default instance you cannot install. Why? Because the name is reserved for one instance, one default instance, right? This is how default instance. And again, functionality wise, there is no difference. Default instance also, how features are there, what features are there. In the same way, your named instance also will work. Only while connecting, there is a difference. That's it. Named instance. Okay. So you can give any name, guys. You can give any name. It will accept up to 15 characters. Okay. You cannot start name with numbers. 2017 SQL Server. This is not valid. Okay. You cannot start with numbers. You have to start with alphabets only. You can give numbers, but you cannot start the instance name with numbers. And you cannot give any special characters. SQL space server. Okay. This is also not valid. Space is a special character. It won't accept any special characters in the instance name other than dollar and underscore. Okay. Dollar and underscore. You can give this name dollar. Okay. And you can also give this underscore name also, right? Or else you can give like this also, SQL underscore 2017. 2017. Okay. It will accept only dollar and underscore in the instance name. It won't accept any other special characters. Can I give instance name like this? SQL. Okay. SQL. Where is that? Okay. Can I give instance name like this?
No, sir.
No.
No.
Okay, it is not
It's symbol
acceptable
map.
special characters. And is not acceptable special characters. Can I give like this?
No, sir.
No, space is
Space
a
in our
special
size.
character. Can I give like this? Dollars equal 2017.
Yes, sir.
No, sir.
Yes or no?
No,
Yes, sir.
sir.
No, sir.
The answer is
No, sir.
no. Okay. Of course, it will
Okay.
accept a dollar symbol, but it should start with alphabets. Your
Right, sir.
SQL server should start with alphabets. You can give dollar at any place, but not in the beginning. You can give underscore at any place, but not in the beginning. Your instance name should
Should
start
it
with
start with underscore,
alpha.
sir?
No, that's what it should start with
Underscore
alphabets
also.
only. It should starts with alphabets only.
Right.
Okay, so you can give dollar and underscore at any location, but instance name should start with the alphabets only. Okay, right? And that's it, guys. From instance, default instance, that's it. There is no difference. Okay, and go for default instance. I'm installing default instance again. It's not mandatory to install default instance for the first time. You can go for named instance also for the first time. Okay, so once you install, what is this MS SQL server, guys? It will create a folder with MS SQL server. If you install default instance, it will create a folder with MS SQL server in your server, Windows server. Okay. While connecting only, you will use computer name. Okay. The folders and all will be created with a for default instance. Only while connecting, you have to give computer name. Okay. Right. But the folders and all will be created with MS SQL server. Services also will be created with MS SQL server. Okay, if you give named instance SQL 2017, okay, see here, the folder name is also will be changed. See, instance ID means folder name. Okay, it will create a folder with the SQL 2017 name. But only for default instance, the folder name is MS SQL server and services names is also MS SQL server. Okay, and in this section, the below section, it will show you in case, I'll tell you. Just a minute. Okay, in this below section, it will tell you if any instances are already installed in this machine or not. This table you can see, right? Instance name, instance ID, features, edition, version. If this table is empty, means what?
No
No
instance
instance
is
are
No
there.
instance.
No instance is
created.
installed.
instance
Yeah,
are
no
installed.
instance is already installed in this machine. If you see any entry, you can see what is the instance name, what is the instance ID, what is the features, what features are installed, what is the edition of that instance, what is the version of that instance, you can see here. If you see a blank table, means no instance is installed on this machine as of now. Clear, guys? Any issues, any doubts?
Yes, sir.
Sir, in
No, sir.
organization, we use default or names.
No, 90% will use default. Okay, 90% will use default only. But again, it's not limited to default. If there is a requirement, we'll go for named also. Instance
Will they
ID
give
for,
name, sir?
yeah,
For
for named
instance,
instance, yeah, I'll tell you. Someone asked a question for named instance. What is the instance ID? What name you are giving? That is your instance ID. Just now I shown you. Okay, if you select named instance and if you give SQL 2017, okay, automatically it will create a instance ID with SQL 2017. Just click on the instance ID, automatically you can see that name. Okay, clear, guys? Yeah,
Yes, sir.
yeah. Someone is asking one question.
sir, in the real time, will they
Hmm.
give instance name, sir? Organization will give
Yeah,
instance name, sir,
we'll
or
give.
we can select our own?
Okay, good question. Okay, so in case if it is named instance, who will give the name? Okay, so in case if no one give the name, I cannot give daddy, I love you. You cannot keep that instance name. Okay, so you cannot choose your own name. You have to request application team to give the instance name. They will select, depends upon the project, usually instance names are decided. Okay, so don't decide instance name by your own. In case if you don't find it, check with your application team, they are going to provide you the name. If they ask us to install default instance, no need to ask any name, automatically it will take the computer name. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Fine. Right, let me go proceed. Let me go to next. Guys, we don't have more screens. You can see these are the pending screens. Which screen is highlighted? That is, we are there in that screen. we can see these are the things. Okay, up to here only we'll discuss. Ready to install is final screen. Okay, right, we have 3 more sections, then we'll close the session for today. Okay, please bear for a minute. Right, service accounts. Okay, service accounts. What is the service account? Simply I'll explain you. Okay, service account is an account which helps to run the service, guys. Service account is an account which helps to run the service. Okay, so only during the installations and all the time will be crossed. Okay, so don't mind. Right, so for example, I'll give you a simple example. You are staying in a room. You are only staying in a room. You are the only one. Okay, so you have a maid. Daily that maid is coming. She is cleaning utensils. She is cleaning the room, and whatever pending things are there, she is doing everything and she is going. For her, it is taking 30 minutes to complete. Okay, now your friend joined in the room. Now 2 people are there. Same maid is there. Only one maid is there. Okay, again. Okay, she is coming and she is completing. Earlier, she used to complete all the work in 30 minutes. And you know, right, these maids are superpower, superwoman. They will complete everything in 15 minutes only. Okay, and yeah, and now 2 people came into the room. Okay, earlier she used to work 30 minutes, but as one person is extra added, now she is taking 45 minutes to complete the work. Just I'm giving the example. Okay, now 3 persons are added. Same maid is there. Earlier she used to complete in 45 minutes. Now she is taking 1 hour to complete the work. If people are adding to the room, if only one maid is there, lot of work will be there on her and she has to complete all those things which will take time. In the same way, I told you, right, SQL Server is a RDBMS software which will help you to store the data, to process the data and to retrieve the data. Right, who is going to do all these things? Who is going to do, who is storing means what? Writing the data to the disk. Right, when you are going to store, when you write the data to the disk, then only you can store permanently. Right, retrieving means what? Reading the data from the disk. I'll give you one more simple example. You have an antivirus software, Avesta antivirus software we have. What this Avesta antivirus software will do? It will find all the bugs and all. Any virus files are there, infected files are there, it will mark it as infected. Okay, it will mark it as virus. What it will do to mark the files as virus files or infected files? It is going to scan it, right? First, it will scan your computers or folder, right? What is meant by scan operation? What is meant by scan? Scan means what? Is it a read operation or write operation?
Read operations.
Read operation.
Scanning is nothing but reading. If it found any virus files, it will ask us, these are the virus files by what I have to do now. If we select remove, it is going to remove all the virus affected files. Removing is what operation? Select operation or read operation or write operation? Deleting is read operation or write operation?
Write operation.
Delete is a write operation. Okay, delete is a write operation. So who is going to do all these things, guys? Your antivirus will do?
Yes.
No,
Your
antivirus just find out the details, sir. Virus
Yes.
or bugs, sir.
On behalf of your antivirus, one account will do all these things. Okay, guys, remember, one account will do all these things. Why? Because your antivirus will work as a pack, software pack. Okay, your antivirus, see, for example, it has to scan all the folders, means it has to log into each and every drive and it has to log into each and every folder. Who can log in? Your antivirus software can't log into the folders or drives. Okay, on behalf of your antivirus, one account will log into all your folders, files, drives, and it is going to read the data. Only for an account, those kind of permissions will be there. So you can give access to the permissions. See, for example, if you install any new application in your phone, it will immediately ask you, it will take the permissions for your location. It will take the permissions to read your SMS. It will take the permissions to read your location. It will take the permissions to read your photos, right? Extra permissions you have to provide. Okay, but whereas in the system, no need to provide extra permissions. By default, the service account, the account is called, that person is called service account. Service account will log into each and every folder on the drive. It is going to read the data on behalf of the service. It is going to write the data on behalf of the service. Okay, it is going to read it and it is going to write it. So your service account is an account which helps to run the service. Data reading, data writing, everything will be done by the service account only. Right? So there is a problem. We have two types of service accounts. One is default service account. I gave you an example, right? Room and maid. So default service accounts, you will have 3 default service accounts in the server. How many softwares you are installing in the Windows server? Okay, softwares might be any softwares, but they still use the default service accounts only. If 10 softwares are also there, they will use the 3 default service accounts: local system, local service, network service. You can see if you want. Okay, open services.msc, go to services.msc in your server. Okay, services.msc. You can see all the services. Again, if you don't understand this one, please guys, nothing to worry. Okay, if you have any issue, tomorrow also I'll explain again. These are all the services, and you can see log on as tab is there, right? This is your service account. Okay, you can see local service and local system, and lastly network service. For all these services, these 3 are workers. Like I told you, right? A maid. For all these services, imagine all these services are staying in a room. What is that room? The home name is server name. They are staying in a room. For all these many students, 3 workers are there. Only 3 workers are there. You can imagine, for these many students, only 3 workers are there. How difficult it is to manage the work. Usually you will get the performance issues, right? You have to wait till the work is completed. If more people are there, you have to increase the maid. If you don't increase the maid, you have to face the performance issues. At least any basic idea on service account, guys?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay,
Yes,
so
got
that's
it,
why,
sir.
yeah, that's why we don't use this inbuilt service accounts. These are default service accounts or inbuilt service accounts. If you want, you can use it, but you will get performance issues. So we don't use these service accounts. We'll use a separate service account, that is customized service account. In the next class, I'll show you how to create customized service account. Means one made, separate made for one SQL server. So whatever the read operations, write operations, everything will be controlled by that particular maid only. I have my own dedicated maid for me. Okay, so my things will be faster. Clear?
Okay.
So tomorrow's class, I'll show you how to create a customized service account and all. As of now, today I'm installing with the default service accounts. Okay, I'm not changing anything here. I'm simply proceed for the installation. Okay, these are the default service accounts which will be used for a SQL server. Okay, if I want, I can go for customized also. In the organization, we'll go for customized service account. We are not going to depend on your default service accounts. I told you, right? What is the challenge if we depends on default service account? Performance issues will come. So we'll go for customized. I'll show you how to create customized service account and all. As of now, is it clear, guys?
Yes,
Okay.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
So startup type, whenever you restart your Windows server, automatically these services should start automatically. If you keep it manually, once your Windows server is restarted, again you have to restart this service manually, which is not good option. Okay, make it as automatic. Browser service, no problem. You can keep it as disabled. Due to security reasons, this service will be disabled. I'll explain again when to enable this service and all. Okay. Let me go to collation settings, guys. Any software we usually select long way settings, right? So collation settings means long way settings. These are the basic collation settings, default collation settings for my SQL server. Remember these settings: SQL, Latin 1, General, CP1, CI, and AS. CP1 means code page 1, long ways page. CI means case insensitive. At any case, you can give the data. AS means accent sensitive. Okay, this is the default collation setting, long way setting. If you want to change it, say for example, in some websites you can see Chinese data. How they are like entering Chinese data, they are using their Chinese language. Or you can see Hindi websites, you can see Hindi language. Okay, so you can customize from here. You can choose whatever language you want, French language. Okay, whatever language you want, you can choose from this language. Okay, and you can select it. but 90%, 99% is the default collation setting is this one only. If customer is specifically asking for a different language settings, you can customize from this button. Okay, right. And let me go to next. Right. So as of now, what I'm going to do, if you want to see, if you install the SQL server, it doesn't mean that you can access it. Again, you have to provide extra permissions to you. Okay, who is going to access my SQL server? You have to add here. If you don't add anyone, nothing, it will be installed successfully, but no one can access. It's like keeping lock inside the room and just lock your home. Right, you can automatically lock the doors, right? But your lock is inside your home and you just locked it from outside. How can you access now? You don't have lock, right? So you have to add someone to access the SQL server. Okay, so I'm going to add current user. Those who is installing the SQL server, he can by default connect to the SQL server. Okay, that is your add current user option. Who is installing SQL server? Administrator is installing. See here, who is the user? Administrator. If you click on add current user, by default an account will be created to him and he can connect to the SQL server. Okay, so definitely you have to add one account. Once you have added one account, you can connect with this account and you can give permissions to others. If you don't add anyone, no one can access the SQL server. Again, it's a difficult task to unlock it. Okay, clear guys, this section? Guys, don't worry at all. Tomorrow again I'll explain. Okay, if you have questions tomorrow, you can ask me. Tomorrow I'll again explain. Fine. Data directories, in which drive you are going to install the SQL server, you have to mention the drive letter. As of now, I have only C drive. D drive is not a fixed drive. This is just a mount drive. So you cannot install anything in the D drive. As of now, I have only C drive, right? So of course, everything is going to be installed in the C drive only. In the organization, you will have different drives. You can choose the drive letters and all. They will tell you, okay, which location. This one you have to choose which drive. For data files, please mute it. For data files, which path you have to choose. For log files, which path, which drive you have to choose. For backup path, which path you have to choose, which drive letter you have to choose. They will mention in the installation document. Okay, by using that installation document, you can change the drive letters here. As of now, I have only C drive, so I'm not changing the drive letters. TempDB, I'll explain TempDB. What is this TempDB and all in the system databases classes? I'll explain about the TempDB. By default, it will take the default configurations. Okay, so nothing to worry, no need to change here also. FileStream will use it to store video related data, video content data like your Netflix, YouTube, to store video content data. So for this feature, we can use FileStream. As of now, we are not storing any video related data, right? So I'm not enabling this feature. Simply go to next. And guys, we are at the end of the screen and that's it. Now this is going to prepare one command. See guys, Windows Server don't understand what is this GUI, but we don't know what is the command to install SQL Server. This installation center will prepare a command now. That command will be stored in the configuration file.ini. Okay, whenever I click install, automatically that command will be pulled and it is going to install SQL Server using that command. Okay, now final button is install. Okay, so once installation is successfully completed, it will take 15 minutes. First time if you are installing, as it is going to install shared features also, it will take 15 to 20 minutes. Next time shared features are already installed, it will take 5 to 10 minutes to install new SQL Server. Okay, so this is how we are going to install and no need to wait till the installation end. Tomorrow I'll show you again. Once installation is completed at the end of the installation, you can see installation is succeeded and all the components are successfully installed. You can see that window and then you can close it. If anyone wants to watch, of course, I am not going to close this window. If you want to watch it, you can wait for 10 to 15 minutes and you can see the final screen also. Okay. If you want to leave it, you can leave it. Any questions, any doubts? I'll take it in the next class as we don't have time. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Sir,
Yes, sir.
sir, the thing is that is this a one-time activity or do you need to
No,
do,
it's not one-time
uh,
activity. It's not one-time activity. As told you, you may have 100 servers, you may have 1,000 servers. Okay. So if customer, again, if you got the new project, if customer is having a requirement, he need a separate SQL Server instance, he will raise a request. We have to work on it. It's not like only once you install the SQL Server, next time no need to install anything. Nothing like that. It depends upon
does
the
it mean
customer.
does it mean it's routine work?
Yeah, routine work. Routine means not regularly
Right.
you will get, might be you may get a monthly once, weekly once, or else depends upon your requirements. You may get monthly 4 or 5 installations you have to do. Okay, it depends upon the particular requirements only. It's not okay a one-time work. It's a kind of routine work only. Srinivas, I don't repeat the whole installation again. Whatever doubts you have, you can ask me. Okay. Again, that's why I'm giving you the recordings. Don't expect everything, whatever discussed today will be explained tomorrow. Okay. So we have already spent 2 hours time on this, right? If you still have doubts, tomorrow I'll open installation setup. You can ask me.
Okay, sir. That doubts are service account and
Yeah, I'll explain. No problem. Service account tomorrow I'll